The buried city of Pompeii has given archaeologists astonishing snapshots of life in ancient Rome, but it still holds some secrets.
For years, Regio IX in Pompeii stayed hidden, its secrets locked beneath layers of ash. But now, new discoveries have burst into the light, stunning the world and rewriting Pompeii's story. What they found in this forgotten part of the city changes everything we thought we knew. And the surprises? Join us as we uncover these new incredible discoveries, the lost city of Pompeii. Long ago, in a lovely area in Italy known as Campania, a small city called Pompeii was established. It was founded around 600 BC by the Osci, an ancient Italian group. The Osci selected this location near the Bay of Naples because of its fertile soil and abundant resources. The land was ideal for agriculture, and the nearby sea offered good opportunities for commerce. Overall, Pompeii was considered a great place to reside. Over time, Pompeii expanded and no longer remained a tiny town. Individuals from different regions such as the Greeks and the Etruscans began to visit Pompeii, bringing with them their customs, art, and lifestyle. They established settlements, markets, and engaged in trade with the locals, which gradually transformed Pompeii into a vibrant and picturesque city, bustling with activity and vibrant hues. The city was bustling with activity, with a population of approximately 20,000 at its peak. Pompeii was lively, noisy, and thrilling. The streets were crowded with people trading goods in the markets. People could be seen praying in temples, laughing and crying in theaters, and socializing in public baths. Elegant villas lined the streets, and shops were open for business all over the city. Pompeii was always buzzing with events and excitement. Pompeii was more than just buildings and streets. It was a city filled with artistic beauty. The residents enjoyed decorating their walls with paintings and creating colorful mosaics on their floors. Their houses were adorned with vibrant frescoes depicting tales of gods, nature, animals, and everyday life. In addition to sculptures, there were even casual scribbles on walls, sharing stories of love, humor, and daily experiences in Pompeii. The city was a hub of art and emotion. One tragic event altered the course of history permanently. A frightening occurrence took place on August 24, 79 AD. The massive volcano, Mount Vesuvius, which had been dormant for quite some time, unexpectedly erupted. The residents of Pompeii were caught off guard, as they believed the volcano posed no threat. However, their assumptions were proven incorrect. The volcano made a loud noise and started to explode. It gunned up dark clouds filled with hot gas, ash, and rocks high into the sky. The cloud reached a height of 33 kilometers. It was a terrifying sight. Shortly after, fiery rocks and ash began raining down on the city. The sky turned dark and people started to become very scared. The volcano erupted for 2 days straight, sending fire, ash, and stones raining down on Pompeii. The ground trembled from powerful earthquakes, while the sea surged with large waves, creating tsunamis that added to the fear. Some fled in an attempt to escape the disaster, but others stayed behind. Some thought they could wait it out, while others sought shelter in their homes, cellars, or public buildings, hoping the structures would keep them safe. However, the disaster was immense. The most perilous moment occurred when deadly pyroclastic flows descended the volcano's side. These were swift, scorching clouds of gas and ash that traveled faster than anyone could flee. They raced at speeds reaching 700 kilometers per hour, engulfing everything in their trajectory. They incinerated, crushed, and smothered everything in their path. The inhabitants of Pompeii had no opportunity to flee. Numerous perished where they stood, sat, or sought refuge. The city was enveloped in ash, pumice, and mud, entombed beneath 4 to 6 meters of volcanic debris. Silence fell over Pompeii. The city vanished beneath layers of ash, burying everything from the bustling streets and elegant homes to the shops, temples, and people. As time passed, Pompeii was forgotten by the world. It remained hidden for centuries, its secrets safely preserved beneath the volcanic debris. People started looking for the lost city in the 18th century. When they started excavating, they discovered something amazing. Gradually, they revealed Pompeii. The streets were preserved just as they were during the catastrophic event. They found shops, houses, theaters, and temples all intact. It seemed like the city had come to a standstill. The archaeologists were very cautious in their work. They discovered exquisite frescoes that were still vibrant with color. They unearthed mosaics made with tiny stones arranged perfectly. They came across pots, tools, jewelry, and furniture. However, what moved them the most were the preserved bodies. The residents of Pompeii remained in the exact spots where they perished. The ash had enveloped them rapidly, preserving their final poses. Their hands, faces, and clothing were all frozen in time within the solid volcanic ash. The archaeologists created molds of the shapes they found. The molds depicted individuals in various positions like sitting, lying down, and holding each other. Among the individuals portrayed were children, adults, and families frozen in time. These molds served as a glimpse into the past, providing a view of the daily lives of the people who inhabited Pompeii. Today, Pompeii is considered one of the most unique places globally, with a story that is a mix of happiness and sorrow. A heartbreaking discovery in the hidden room. Next to an inhabitants area in Pompeii where people used to socialize and have fun, there was a small, cramped room with a different story to tell. The room was plain and lacked decoration, but inside were two people who tragically perished in the volcanic eruption that devastated Pompeii. In a room, a woman's skeleton was found lying with her body curled up on a bed in a fetal position. It seemed like she was trying to protect herself from danger. Next to her, a man's body was also discovered in the corner of the room. They both tried to hide, but the eruption of Mount Vesuvius happened too quickly and violently. The man did not die immediately. A deadly rush of superheated gas and ash, known as a pyroclastic flow, barreled down the street and crashed into their house. The strong wall collapsed, crushing the young man and ending his life instantly. The woman was alive but had to watch this horrific event unfold. It was likely a moment of unbearable fear and helplessness for her. Shortly after, the fiery flow engulfed the small room, resulting in the woman's death as well. Their last moments were captured in time, frozen by the sudden catastrophe. Experts examined the skeleton of a young man and observed a significant finding. Despite his youth, his bones revealed a history of strenuous labor and challenges. The evidence of wear and tear on his bones indicated that he likely endured intense physical work throughout his life, possibly in a lower social status or even as a slave. The woman appeared to have had a different life than the man. She was older, yet her bones and teeth were in good condition. There were no signs of physical struggle on her body. She probably had a higher social status, possibly being the wife of the homeowner or a trusted helper who took care of the family. It's uncertain, but her good health and possessions implied that she had lived a more comfortable life. In the room where they sought refuge, there were several items neatly arranged on a marble table. These included elegant glassware, shiny bronze jugs, and plain pottery. It seems that these items were hastily collected and brought into the room during the disaster. Maybe they had wanted to hide and stay safe there, hoping for the eruption to end. Unfortunately, they were trapped in that room and never able to escape. In that tiny area, the archaeologists were most moved by the objects that the two victims were holding onto. The young man had a tight grip on a set of keys, showing their importance to him. The older woman was clutching gold and silver coins, as well as lovely pieces of jewelry, until the very end. The unique artifacts are currently stored in secure vaults in Pompeii with other valuable finds. Experts studying these items are often touched by their beauty and significance. When they see the gold coins and jewelry, it's like bridging the gap between the past and present. It feels like connecting with the people who once inhabited Pompeii. Some of the jewelry items are incredibly beautiful. There are gold earrings with sparkling natural pearls. There are pendant necklaces and small stones with intricate carvings. These precious items have survived for centuries, seeming untouched by time, as if they are ready to reveal their story to the world. The unearthing of this hidden room was part of a bigger discovery, a large private bathhouse complex that fascinated archaeologists. Dr. Sophie Hay compared it to a once-in-a-lifetime find. It wasn't just a place for bathing and unwinding. It was a location that showcased both the luxurious and the more unpleasant aspects of Roman society. Behind the area where people would take hot baths, there was a room with a boiler that made the water system work. Water was brought in from the street through a pipe. Some water went to a cold pool for people to cool off, while the rest was heated in a big lead boiler. The hot water then flowed into the warm bathing rooms. The valve system was advanced and seemed like it could still be used today. The designs were very innovative for their time, showing how much the Romans appreciated comfort and luxury. The wealthy family who lived in this pretty bathhouse likely used it for relaxation and pleasure, enjoying the warm steam, soft lighting, and soothing sounds of water flowing through the pipes. However, despite the luxury of this side of the house, a small adjacent room revealed a contrasting tale of fear, sadness, and sudden tragedy, leading to premature deaths. The stark difference between the luxurious bathhouse and the humble room next to it is what makes this discovery so impactful. In one area of the house, people would have experienced joy and tranquility, while just a short distance away, two individuals experienced fear and sadness during their last moments. The young man and older woman, trapped in time on a tragic day, serve as a reminder that unexpected tragedy can happen in even the most beautiful and affluent places. Their tale helps us connect with the actual residents of Pompeii, going beyond the luxurious homes and valuable treasures to the beating hearts that once lived in those spaces. A stunning ancient spa uncovered. A delightful surprise was hidden in the center of Pompeii, waiting to be uncovered by scientists. They recently revealed an ancient luxury spa that had been buried for centuries. The discovery of this spa is extraordinary and has attracted global attention. The ancient city of Pompeii, which is famous for its tragic destruction, has been uncovering more secrets over time. One recent discovery that is particularly noteworthy is a private spa that was built over 2,000 years ago. As scientists delicately removed the ash and dust, they uncovered a spa that was not just ordinary but rather an extraordinary space that exudes beauty, comfort, and detailed art. This elaborate spa was once part of a big fancy mansion that likely belonged to a rich and influential person. The mansion had multiple rooms, each with its specific function. The spa was well thought out, with experienced rooms for hot baths, warm baths, and cold baths. Each room provided a unique experience for the guests who used to relax in this tranquil setting. The hot room, known as the caldarium, was a comfortable area for people to soak in warm water and loosen up their muscles. After enjoying the hot room, they would then go to the warm room, called the tepidarium, which provided a gentle and calming warmth. To complete their experience, visitors would take a bracing plunge in the cold pool, the frigidarium, which would leave them feeling alert and revitalized. The spa was more than just a bathing place. It was also a social hub where people came together to chat, laugh, and have a good time. After their bath, guests would head to a nearby dining hall that was no ordinary space. It was a gorgeous black-walled banquet hall adorned with paintings depicting stories from Greek mythology. These paintings added a sense of wonder and brought ancient tales to life as guests enjoyed their meal. The grand house had a spacious courtyard in the middle. In the center of the courtyard, there was a big basin that used to sparkle in the sun. The courtyard enhanced the beauty of the home, providing a tranquil area for guests to stroll, relax, or breathe in the fresh air. The recently found spa in Pompeii is one of the biggest and most meticulously designed private baths ever uncovered. It offers insight into the daily lives of the people who resided there, particularly those from the upper class. The spa wasn't only for bathing. It was also a way to flaunt one's status, taste, and intelligence by creating an impressive space to impress others. A new finding was found in Region IX, an area of Pompeii that had not been disturbed for a while. Archaeologists are now carefully investigating this spot in the heart of the ancient city, slowly revealing more historical artifacts bit by bit, making sure not to overlook anything. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, the leader of the excavation, talked about the amazing discovery. He mentioned that in Pompeii, homes were not just places to live privately. They were also meant to show off wealth and knowledge. The residents of these fancy homes wanted to impress their guests and be viewed as important, learned, and stylish. The luxurious spas, fancy banquets, and elaborate decorations were all selected with this goal in mind. Gabriel thought the layout of the house was similar to the one in the Roman story, the Satyricon. The story was about wealthy people who enjoyed banquets and baths to show off their wealth. The recently unearthed house in Pompeii seemed to mirror this extravagance, providing the perfect setting for showcasing a luxurious lifestyle. The luxury spa and grand house were meticulously decorated with exquisite details in every nook and cranny. Beautiful paintings depicting Greek stories and culture adorned the walls, showcasing a love for art. The rooms were not only comfortable but also aesthetically pleasing, designed to impress anyone who entered. It was clear that a lot of effort and thought went into creating this stunning masterpiece of a house. Although the owner of the house is no longer around, they left a special gift for everyone. The house was a happy, peaceful, and beautiful place, and now, years later, it has resurfaced to share its history with us. It's as if we're peeking into the past where life was vibrant with colors, festivities, and tranquil times. This finding isn't only about ancient objects and structures, it's also about the individuals who lived during that time. It shows us their lifestyle, interests, and values. The residents of Pompeii had an appreciation for aesthetics and enjoyed socializing with friends. They took pleasure in leisure activities, storytelling, and being surrounded by beautiful items. The luxurious spa in Pompeii sums up this luxurious way of living. Archaeologists are still working in Pompeii, examining every part of the site with great care. Each new finding helps us learn more about a city that used to be very vibrant. The ancient treasures, such as this lovely spa, share stories that continue to move us even now. The old luxurious spa that was hidden for many years is now restored and shining once more. It serves as a nostalgic reminder of a bygone era, a serene place where people used to enjoy meals, laughter, and bathing while surrounded by the beauty of their surroundings. The amazing secrets uncovered in Regio IX. One of the most amazing and thrilling findings in the recent history of Pompeii is the thorough excavation of an area called Regio IX. This section of the city had been mostly concealed for many years. Regio IX was silent for a long time, ready to reveal its history. Despite some previous excavation work, a large portion of it had not been touched. In 2017, specialists went back to Regio IX with a fresh objective. They aimed to fully investigate the area, discovering its hidden secrets and learning about the inhabitants who once resided there. The main area of interest for this unique dig has been Insula 10, a specific section within Regio IX. Insula 10 is similar to a big block in a city with numerous significant structures. While digging through layers of ash and rubble, the team uncovered 2 large residences, a bakery, a laundry facility, and numerous small workshops. These findings were not just visually stunning, but they also offered insights into the daily lives and activities of the residents of Pompeii. Despite some initial exploration in 1888, which was abruptly halted, leaving only limited documentation, archaeologists are now committed to thoroughly investigating this area. Their objective is to meticulously examine all aspects, including buildings, decorations, and room functions, with the goal of uncovering the true history of this overlooked section of Pompeii. Through this methodical approach, they are piecing together the narrative of this forgotten location. One exciting find that caught everyone's eye was a fresco on a wall. The fresco, resembling a pizza, was around 2,000 years old but depicted something familiar. It showed flatbread on a silver tray with colorful fruits like pomegranates and dates. There was a fruit that looked like a pineapple, but experts clarified that pineapples were not in Europe at that time. It was likely a pine cone known to ancient Romans. The bread in the painting had added flavors like herbs, cheese, and seasonings. Romans liked this type of tasty and carefully made food. The painting was in a house with a bakery nearby. Some think the image was influenced by a Greek custom called xenia, which involved giving special gifts to guests as a warm welcome. More discoveries were found as the excavation kept going, each adding a new piece to the mystery. One of the most tragic finds was inside the laundry called the Phalanca in ancient times, where clothes were washed and cared for. In one room, the bodies of 3 people were found, including a young child and 2 men who were victims of the eruption. The child was discovered resting on a wooden bed, with the 2 adults nearby on the floor close to a staircase that could have taken them to the upper level of the building. One of the adults was wrapped in a woolen cloak, indicating they may have been important or trying to shield themselves while attempting to flee. The individuals found in the laundry room were trapped by the deadly volcanic eruption. The scorching ash engulfed them rapidly, but also helped to preserve their shapes. A group of experts carefully examined the remains using advanced tools like CT scans, X-rays, and DNA testing to gather information about the individuals. They determined that the child was a boy, and both adults were males. One of the men was estimated to be between 18 and 25 years old, while the other was between 30 and 40 years old. Surprisingly, the DNA tests revealed that the 2 men were not related. Unfortunately, the child's DNA could not be recovered, so it remains unknown if he was connected to either of them. Experts were intrigued by the child and man's cloak found in the laundry, leading them to speculate that they may have been from a wealthy family who either owned the laundry or frequently visited it. This aspect of the story evokes a sense of melancholy among researchers who contemplate the last moments of these individuals' lives. In the atrium of a house with its oven, there were two amazing frescoes depicting stories from Roman and Greek mythology. These detailed and skillfully made frescoes showcased the talents of ancient artists. One fresco featured Poseidon, the sea god, and Amymone, a nymph who was the daughter of King Danaus of Argos. The second fresco, though less detailed in description, was equally impressive and filled with delicate beauty. Archaeologists discovered burned wooden furniture in the same house where they found human remains. The wooden chest and table were damaged by fire during the eruption. It is believed that the fire started in the oven, which was still being used when Mount Vesuvius erupted and covered the city in ash and rock, the heartbreaking truth of last moments. In 2022, researchers made a frightening discovery about the victims of the Mount Vesuvius eruption. For a long time, people thought that those who perished in the tragedy passed away from suffocation caused by the ash clouds. It was believed that their final moments were brief, and they were soon covered by the ash. However, a recent study revealed a much more tragic and agonizing reality. Researchers discovered evidence in the remains that revealed a tragic truth. Instead of suffocating, the individuals perished from intense, sudden heat that caused their blood and tissues to boil. The scorching gas and ash from the volcano not only engulfed the people, but also resulted in their horrific deaths. The gas rapidly descended the mountainside, swiftly sweeping through the city at an unimaginable pace. The temperature of the gas was even higher than initially thought. The gas cloud not only burned their skin but also penetrated deeper, boiling the blood inside their bodies. Some skulls found had burst open, indicating the intense heat caused the liquid inside to explode outward. This revelation surprised the researchers. It wasn't the ash, but the extreme heat that caused the death of many in Pompeii and nearby Herculaneum. In the 1980s and 1990s, archaeologists found many skeletons near the water in Herculaneum. These people had run towards the sea in a hurry, hoping to stay safe. They probably thought the water would shield them, or that a boat might save them. However, even by the sea, they couldn't avoid the volcano's deadly impact. Experts at that time thought these individuals passed away due to suffocation from the ash. However, the more recent study offered a more distressing explanation. The extreme heat from the gas cloud would have quickly reached the individuals, causing them to experience an intense, excruciating heat that rapidly destroyed their bodies. The researchers observed black and red markings on the skeletons, an unusual residue that did not align with typical signs of suffocation. Upon careful examination, it was found that the remains had a notably high concentration of iron, indicating that the iron had originated from their blood. This suggests that their blood had boiled and forced its way out of their bodies, leaving a lasting, touching reminder of their tragic end. The residents of Pompeii and Herculaneum had no way to survive. The volcanic eruption happened quickly and violently, catching everyone off guard. Despite their efforts to flee or take cover, the scorching hot gas cloud packed with lethal ash moved swiftly like a blazing wave, engulfing the entire area in a matter of moments. It was a devastating disaster that wiped out everything in its path. It's difficult to comprehend how rapidly the city went from bustling with life to silent with death. Perhaps some were out shopping, working, playing, or relaxing without any inkling that the day would end in tragedy. They may have noticed the ominous dark cloud looming in the sky, but it was already too late. Those who hurried towards the sea in search of safety likely held on to hope that they would make it out alive, imagining they would witness another daybreak. Unfortunately, they couldn't escape the wrath of Mount Vesuvius. Despite the sadness of this fact, Pompeii still has many fascinating stories to tell. It was a big city divided into 9 distinct areas known as Regio, each with its unique streets, structures, and inhabitants. Regio I was the oldest section of the city, located near the Vesuvian Gate in the northwest corner of Pompeii. The houses in this area were big and attractive, adorned with intricate mosaics, vibrant paintings, and elegant statues. It was evident that the wealthy residents of this neighborhood had a strong appreciation for beauty and luxury. Regio II was a large area in the northeast of the city, close to the new Sarno Gate and the Herculaneum Gate. It was packed with public buildings where people could gather to enjoy music, theater, sports, and games. These venues were able to accommodate large crowds. The residents of Pompeii enjoyed being entertained, and Regio II was a popular spot for them to socialize. Regio III was a smaller area located near the Nola Gate and the Sarnus Gate. The houses in this neighborhood were less fancy, but they still had neat things like medical instruments, puzzles, and wise sayings painted on the walls. There were also various shops, craft workshops, and small bars where people could socialize, buy things, and hang out with friends. Regio IV was located in the southeast, close to the Stabian Gate and the Nola Gate. This section of the city was significant as it housed several grand public buildings like the Forum, the Basilica, the Temple of Jupiter, the Macellum, Market, and the Baths of Stabia. It was a bustling area where people gathered to shop, worship, and socialize. Regio V was a moderate-sized neighborhood located in the southern part of the city, near the Marina Gate and the Sarnus Gate. It was predominantly residential, with notable houses like the House of the Orchard, the House of the Gladiators, and the House of the Cryptoporticus. These houses provided insight into the daily lives of the residents. Regio VI in ancient times had many public buildings, such as the Temple of Fortuna Augusta and the Baths of the Forum. These structures were built to honor the goddess of fortune, the emperor, and to promote the well-being of the city's residents. Regio VII was situated in the western part of the city, close to the Vesuvian and Nola Gates. The houses in this area were more basic, but the residents had beautiful gardens, wells, and water collection systems. It was a tranquil neighborhood where plants thrived and the pace of life was leisurely. Regio VIII was famous for its numerous shops, workspaces, and restaurants. It was a bustling area where people could shop, trade items, and dine with friends. The Inn of Salvius and the bakery of Popitius Priscus were popular establishments in this neighborhood. Everyday life in this area was vibrant and lively. In the end, there was Regio IX, a section of the city known for its elegant and wealthy buildings. The houses in this area were decorated with vibrant mosaics, stunning paintings, and charming sculptures reflecting Pompeii's reputation for luxury and beauty. What do you think about the new discoveries? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity gist. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.